This is it. OTE going into the finish to prevent the GOT win to tie it 3-3. Whoa. Look out. GOT onto it hard. What a play. This is it. Oh my god. Grove and Osetek Thieves shut out Optic Alito 4-2. This in the split-second play in best of 7 in Octal of Doza 2. This as the Canbor D-City Thieves shut out Optic Canber 4-2, as well ending in the last Galicia and a half. This as the related teams in another verse, being Realito subject. Concerning the CDL Major Quattro Tournament, the finals. As the movie Star Thieves shuts out the Optic Longhorns in same 4-2 score ending in the past hour or so, this is it's the Thieves movement tonight in the triple play in the Canbor D, Illitopia and Tronic Diamond, and the CDL. In the next match as they keep the Thieves movement going, being Grove and Osetek Thieves vs Altronic City Shock tomorrow, and in the week ahead, to face Elite City Typtos. DG Red Blitz Esports and Xenopolis City Quartz then at the special Happy New Month Canbor D Gumbalan KB.P18 match just announced, Grove and Osetek Thieves to compete against Canbor D City Thieves. This is RDK 3000-Tristar Today Lunch Bites. I am Mark E. Cryptor anchoring solo for the hour, over at RDK 3000-Tristar RDK Newsline Studio RDX at RDK 3000-Tristar Main HQ in Elite City, Illitopia. Chris K. Cryptor is off for this hour as with Mike Z. Cryptor and Christina A. Cryptor. But they to join me for RDK TSRT Blitz in 2 hours. The latest at midday. We have the latest in esports, but that come later as we lead with the top story, being the announcement this morning just 2 hours ago at 1000 RDK in Elite City, in a media event, at DG Square Elitosat. This is the Alito Prom 2023, EY 1023 gets announced as that prom goers expect that to happen as the date of the prom event start to be day 1 on this Saturday, April 29th, 2023 is it to kick off around this time this coming Saturday at 1200 hours, 12 o'clock, PM RDK in Elite City. The theme name is being all over the place and type being international. Event to be hosted is always at DG Square Latosat. This to be the 4th year they host the event.
Anyhow, my brother is now part of Elite City Cryptors, esports team, previously Elite City Shock. Anyhow, in prior day after Gruven Ositek Thieves wins the match against Optic Elito, as he and I spectate viewing party, Mickey Daniels told me to get my bro Chris a new car at the soonest possible. This is I to head to Flex Motors to look for car for you Chris Trex Elito.
Yes, thank God, the match schedule is swapped. Rather than the Cryptors to take on Gruven Ositek Thieves at 3. It to be DRBE versus GOT, as Elite City Cryptors take on Gruven Ositek Thieves tonight at 8 o'clock p.m. Elite City, 00.0 EMT and 0000 TRX. Consider revising the reminders on your phone or pocket mate once we arrive at the dealership.
I didn't know of the match schedule update. When did you learn of this?
Past hour as the esports coach messaged me. As I listened to Elito Gamer ESP and confirmed to be rescheduled for 8 this evening.
This as we arrive at the dealership. Which car and subject at the dealership?
2023, EY1023 Flex Mudcup Drex Volution PHEV. You know, the related car, the Mudcup Revolution EV and fuel cell range extender version. The Drex Volution 1 have the engine being same 2.0 inline 3 engine as your car but reduced turbo pressure, and without the supercharger.
I do note, being a subcompact hatch, as we to look for the one for you.
Yes, as I do have a check at hand. The subject is so bizarre, a mass shooting averted by a dog? Thank God, the shooting massacre gets prevented, otherwise would have been a deadliest shooting in Elitopian history and the matches for today would have get postponed 1 or 2 weeks, but how did the dog put a stop to it? This as I do note, over at Elitopian University, dog named Arya owned by an indie racer, co-owned by my friend Scott Elidistar, as I must have to talk to him on the subject. This is Signer Rex Elidistar, and fellow from RDK 3000-Tristar Mark Elidistar, aka Marquee Cryptor also co-owns the dog. The dog was named after such plushie that Ozzy and Skittles play with, named Arya once Ian Mitchell visits RDK 3000-Tristar main HQ in the past 20 hours. This as I note my other friends Mark Zaniels and Corey Zanders, used to work at DG Square Latosat, now working at RDK 3000-Tristar, for close to 5 months. Anyhow, my bro Milos Elidistar and dog Arya, no wonder they get a cash reward of hundreds of thousands of Elios. Must be the most wanted criminal in Elite City, in which Arya tackled the criminal down with help from Ichigo Raystar, student at ELU, as his bro Richard Raystar toggled nearby call box to get attention to campus police, then called Elite City Metro Police. Anyhow, I am off to head back to RDK 3000-Tristar main HQ as I to report to Kateri room for lunch. Matt Z Cryptor, where did you get the new hairdo?
Corey Z Cryptor, the fellows over at Salon Artisan Alito at Alito Square, in which the hairstylist being sister of Zen S Cryptor being Crystal Sabartan Gambina being Elitopian immigrant from World of Gaia since 2020 EY 1020, in which she used to work at Salon Durham in Durham region led by Vanessa just around the block from former location of RDK 3000-Tristar Gaia online unit Zen S Cryptor used to run before he moved in 2020 EY 1020. This as my sister named Melissa Zwinky Alito, who used to work at Artisans at Zelux Premium Mall in Zwinktopia before 2016 EY 1016 before the Zwink Purge before she and I moved to Elitopia, as she works at Salon Artisan Alito as she and Crystal worked on my new hairdo. As it costs me 18 Elios, as this closely resembles the hairdo I used to look when I was touring Zwinky Prom in 2013 EY 1013, as I show a picture frame of me back then 10 years ago during the Zwinky Prom 2013 EY 1013.
2013, EY 1013. iRaptor must know, was it used to be Team Elite back then before it is now known as RDK 3000-Tristar. I was 19 at that time when I was finished with classes at Elite City Public District High School at that time since January 2013. Alfa EY 1013, also time when I applied a job at a tech firm Kai-Tech in Elite City until 2017, EY 1017 at the store, as I was an associate at that time when I was driving my first car, being a hot sporty hatch, all-wheel drive, turbocharged engine, mild hybrid with 6-speed manual. Yes. Raptor. This is back then in 2013. Farah must note I was 14 at that time once I attend the high school you went to during grade 9 class, as I first met you at the high school 10 years ago today, as I was part of the school's junior swimming team when you attended to spectate the competition event en route for me. Now I do heard, your birthday is coming up next week as you to turn 29. Yes. My birthday is coming up. You go think of the items to give to me for the big day. This is I to inform. Chris C here, Raptor, I am already aware of your upcoming birthday on May 3rd, 2023 once you turn 29. Catherine, and the rest of the Zaniels were already informed via reminder I sent to them. You go think of the cake you to have, as I to write up list of things you want for your birthday.
This sure shocks me, Matt C Cryptor. You considering to have new hairdo for your special day on May 3rd 2023 in Epsilon 1st, EY 1023 also.
Yes, this is I may consider same hairdo as yours, Matt. You said it costs 18 Elios, before or after VAT?
Before 7%, in which comes to total of 19 Elios 25 as I paid in cash using the 20 Elio note.
This explains you received 75 Elio cents left over?
Yes, as I spent it on vending machine to get a 512ml bottle of Alito Cola flavor infusion cherry vanilla zero sugar.
Mark Z Cryptor, Mark Zaniels, Raptor, I Chris K Cryptor must note on your big day on the happy new month Alito Epsilon EY 1023, that I have since messaged my younger siblings Robert and Sean Kaistar. They are considering a gift for you for your 29th birthday on May 3rd 2023 in Epsilon 1st. EY 1023. You should message them at the soonest possible.
Chris K. Cryptor, you sure that his 29th birthday is on Epsilon 1st, EY 1023 and May 3rd, 2023 on the 10th anniversary of the amazing world of Gumball and day before Star Wars Day? He sure is a die-hard Star Wars fan, as he used to watch the amazing world of Gumball once it gets premiered on Elitopian television in 2014, EY 1014 on Jinx TV.
Yes, Mark E. Cryptor.
I gotta alert my siblings and cousins being the hit Elitopian singer Rex Elitostar. Indie Racer, plus gaming live streamer Scott Elitostar on the matter via messaging. This is for you, Mark Z Cryptor. My siblings may message you over messaging app, so be sure you have your smartphone at hand and reply at the soonest possible once they message you. Okay, Mark E Cryptor.
That is going to be all for this newscast on Alito News 24 Afternoon Live. Remember, you can get the latest news around the clock on Alito News Radio 95.3 FM and 1280 DAB, satellite radio, online at alitonews24.elp, on Alito News Go app, social at Alito News 24, Alito News 24 Plus, or digital streaming interactive channel Alito News Net, or listen to our podcasts on the hourly roundup on your favorite music provider.
Coming up next is Asylum cast of RDK 3000-Tristar Today's special flashback Zwinky Prom 2013, EY 1013, with the coverage Viaduct the archives from the past 10 years Viaduct RDK 3000-Tristar TV service. In case of breaking news, we run a scroll on the bottom and maybe break in if needed. Immediately after end of the program ETA 2:50 PM Elite City, we hand off to Raymond Blake for pre-match coverage of Elite City Cryptors vs DG Red Blitz Esports, then Canberra Lito Express no later than 3 PM Elite City. I am Corey Elidistar.
And I am Catherine Zanils, signing off. You are watching the place for 24-hour around-the-clock news where the news never sleeps, Alito News 24. Goodbye.
We see you at 6:30 PM Elite City for Alito News 24 tonight. We join the program already in progress. Goodbye. This is the esports match is also a charity match toward mental health and arthritis services and support since May 2023. Epsilon EY 1023 is Mental Health Awareness Month. As with Arthritis Awareness Month, this is the Alito Prom 2023, EY 1023 to be held this weekend. To be also a charity event, this in which the theme of the prom is all over the place, in which is like similar theme to the one virtually close to 10 years ago in May 2013. Epsilon EY 1013 in which was the spotlight in yesterday's show in VWGT in the virtual world of Zwinky in which the platform ceased operations in 2016. EY 1016. This is we will put VWGT on pause but we to be back for the match coverage around 2:50 with the 3 hosts of VWGT, as we have received special request from the fellows at RDK 3000-Tristar for the special coverage in the Asylum cast concerning the coverage back them in the flashback 10 years ago. However, we must remind if the hosts gets paged to cover the match, we will provide update on the news banner, and in an event the match to be covered in Asylum cast on Vero Television, also show a notice on that as well then prematurely end VWGT and the Asylum cast of RDK TV in the special coverage of the flashback, as we hand off to the fellows at RDK 3000-Tristar television service in the Asylum cast. I am Mark Alito Trap as we see you around 2:50. Game on. Anyhow, this is the fire bells will ring across Alito Telemedia at the bottom of the hour for a periodic system test by Alarm Corp as I get frightened on the fire alarm bells, so we are making its move to DG Square Alitosat in a few. This is programming will be on pause until no later than 2:45 PM Elite City. as we have since received broadcast request from the fellows at RDK 3000-Tristar concerning the special coverage featuring the flashback of virtual event 10 years ago showcasing the coverage back then at that time, being Zwinky Prom, in Zwinky platform in which the platform ceased operations in 2016, EY1016. Pre-match coverage countdown will continue before 2:45 or tune to the secondary channels now, or tune to Alito Gamer Radio 100.7. I am Raymond Blake, signing off as we report live from DG Square Alitosat after the special feature. We'll be back by then. You are watching Alito Gamer ESP. Game on. That was the flashback from the RDK archives back in 2013, EY1013, in which was a Team Elite era in the initial year as N-EY12013. However, we were forced by the Elitopian government in latter half of 2013 to revert back to standard Elite years and such. Anyhow, this in which I was covering the prom at that time while reporting for Team Elite today at Argayan Bureau in Durham in May of 2013, in which now becomes as RDK 3000-Tristar today since our Zwinky host who was Team Elite 2012, also known as Matt Z Elite. Now known as Matt Z Cryptor, who was divisional leader of Team Elite Zwinky unit, then became as RDK 3000 Zwinky unit, then becoming RDK 3000-Tristar Zwinky unit, in which he shut down operations in 2016. EY1016, in which he emigrated to Elitopia to reside in Elite City and work at the main HQ since then, as he is beside me. As he was unable to cover at that time in May 2013, Epsilon EY1013, this as the graphics package back then was tronish compared to the one 10 years later for 2023, EY1023 for RDK 3000-Tristar television service.
Yes. Zen S Cryptor, this as I was on assignment at the time, this after rushing for a decent outfit at the Winchester Mall back at the time in Elite Year EY1013 and 2013. Now we want to show you the second presentation from the RDK archives in which our colleague Zen Z Cryptor has since found the media once searching from the coverage from our affiliates at that time. As he has since found the one from our former affiliate Zwinky Media Arts from ZMA News in which gets defunct since 2016. And EY 1016 just a year after 10th anniversary of Canbordi in 2015 and EY 1015 and KB.P10 as the host at the time Ringo Garcia aka Ringo 0410 who was used to be ZMA host and host of 24 Zwinky Hours, now known as Ringo Silvastar who was born in Manaloha, Philippine Land, who emigrated to Zwinktopia in 2008 and launched ZMA News, then emigrated to Elitopia in 2016 in which he used to reside in Rexer covering for a local Filipino radio station in Rexer, then moved to Elite City in 2020 and EY 1020 in which he covered for ELN 24 in which is now Elito News 24 as he is current host of 24 Elitopian Hours, also special correspondent. This as we present the clip, but Zen Z Cryptor have some words first.
I am Zen Z Cryptor. Anyhow, the following in which I to say is intended for Trexer, my bro Rex Xylastar for R8664, Studios Robloxian division in which the general television audience must disregard. To repeat, only for Trexer, not for the general television audience. Trexer from Trex City, Trexland, Crypzation, Roblo Federation West. If you are watching this via either R8664 Vision Network or A Little News 24 International Robloxia, or Trex Vision, start the DVR operation immediately. To repeat, start it now. Put it on timer until .785, 751 sign Alpha Trex 12th, Trex year 23 and after 1450 on April 25th, 2023. Burn to DVD and export to MP4 and transfer to device by end of Trex day. Anyhow, for the general audience, this has the premiere to end after set time at 1450 Elite City and RDK time, 78.5 EMT and 1884 TRX today on April 25th, 2023 and Delta 23rd, EY 1023 as we present the clip now from our former affiliate ZMA News during the airing on May 17, 2013.
Halt! I am Chris K. Cryptor. Mickey, Sean, Smith. Why are you doing at RDK 3000-Tristar main headquarters at Floor 5, TV Studio Operations Center Alpha and not at VWGT Studios via Alito Gamer ESP Gamer Studios at Alito Telemedia Media Headquarters 2 units to the west? And did you went from there via Omni Catawalk?
We have since gotten page to head to DG Square Litoset as we have to head to the esports arena section right away as the little gamer ESP requested me to head there right away, as we need to use the entrance next to Studio RDX. We have already informed RDK 3000-Tristar and DG Square Litoset security of the entrance via RDK TSR exit GR.
Okay. Zine Z Cryptor is at the door as it's open for y'all.
This reminds me, Mark E. Cryptor, we must get on the air pretty soon as we must monitor the status of VWGT. Either the show may get preempted or we to be substitute hosts for the show.
Trexer, Rex Xylostar from R8664 RBX. If you are watching this if timers are not set, stop DVR recording immediately. Repeat, stop it now. To general television audience, disregard what I had said. Repeat, disregard what I said. Anyhow, that was the RDK archive flashback from May 17, 2013 or Delta 15, EY 1013 from our former affiliate in which gets defunct in 2016, EY 1016, ZMA News, with host Ringo in which he now works at Alito Telemedia for Alito News 24. Anyhow, we have to pass some programming notices. I am Chris K. Crypter and this is Mark E. Crypter from RDK 3000-Tristar RDK Newsline Studio RDX over at RDK 3000-Tristar HQ in Elite City, Alitopia.
Since 1442 RDK and Elite City. Alito Gamer ESP has prematurely ended Xylem cast of RDK TV in appreciation of esports event in which to be competition match from TD Alito Esports Gamer Battle Omega Quartz 2023 EY 1023 Neotrokant 1000.1. 2000 TDE Elite City Quartz vs DG Red Blitz Esports to occur at 1500 hours RDK and Elite City. As the pre-match coverage has since begun immediately after the Xylem cast gets ended as per producer's discretion of Alito Gamer ESP. This is for Alito News 24. The RDK TV Xylem cast prematurely ended at 1441 RDK and Elite City as Canberra Alito Express needed to air right away as per discretion by producers of Alito News 24. As they lead with DRBE viewing party.
This is we learned from Vero Television in which we pass you an RDK 3000-Tristar television service programming alert. Since 14 to 48 RDK and Elite City, Vero Television has ended the RDK TV Silemcast and immediately started Silemcast of Alito Gamer ESP in appreciation of esports match at 1500 RDK and Elite City. This as today's episode of VWGT in which we would have returned to it now, gets to prematurely end for the day to devote coverage from Alito Gamer ESP, as the VWGT hosts has since got reassigned to cover the match in subject. Anyhow, that is to be all for the RDKTSRT special presentation for the flashback of Zwinky Prom 2013, EY 1013. This as the VWGT host said before the special presentation begins in which was anchored by Zine S. Crypter and Matt Z. Crypter, as they are now reassigned to cover the prep of Alito Prom 2023, EY 1023 to be held later on in the week, at Digi Square Elitizot as we cover that in RDK 3000-Tristar Today Blitz edition in a 2-hour extended edition coming up next, in which the hosts compare the event here in Elite City compared to the one in Zwinky 10 years ago in 2013, EY 1013.
Yes. This is the theme of this year's Alito Prom being similar to Zwinky counterpart 10 years ago. Being all over the place. In which name was chosen submitted by our own Zen Z Crypter in behalf of the Zenpok and Trexer. Inspired by the name of the album by KSI in which the virtual concert was held in Robloxia in the past year or so in which gets the most votes by a huge margin in a poll in which gets selected with 52% of the tally.
This is the event will kick off on April 29, 2023 this coming Saturday with one of the prom rooms to be devoted to the event on the 30th being Happy New Month Canbordi Gumbalon KB.P18 also kicking off May Fest 2023, 0986 CJE, EY 1023 in Silver City, Corgitopia with the Corgitopian Surfing Festival and Pro Surfing competitions in the initial week of the event. There will be the lobby part also the themed prom rooms. 3 of it loosely inspired to the one in the Zwintopian counterpart, Rio Ultimo Latino Dunes, Webchester Promenade, Nippon Drifting, and the 9 others, Xeno Star, Alftroni Alito, Hewexi Trance, Mudkipnon, Muni Kaipeldozi, Peko Gemstar, Kaser Kiss, Korhodo Plaza, and the one in which the Canbor HNM subject to take place, Gumbali Canbordi.
This alongside at the Alito NYE Central of DG Square Alito Sat, in which Grove and Osatek Thieves take on Canbordi City Thieves in esports match in the special match to occur at that time. This is concerning the matches for Grove and Osatek Thieves against the opponent. They shot out Elite City Cryptors 4-3 in evening match but gets blanked by DRBE 3-0 in afternoon match in which occurred yesterday. They has since departed Elite City as they are in Xenopolis City, Xenopolia to compete against Xenopolis City Quartz tomorrow at DG Zenot Zenazat. Then they head to Altronic City to take on Altronic City Shock at DG Tron in which is part of competition matches for Eld Game Jam TDESP Omega Quartz 2023. EY 1023, Neotrokant 1000.1, 2000 TDE. Then they head to Canbordy City for the H&M Canbordy Special Esports match.
This as there's no other esports matches to be held for the Alito TD Omega Court Series, as there are viewing parties in progress in Canbordy City, also in Altronic City and in Xenopolis City. Xenopolia, in which Grub and Ocytec Thieves are at over in Digi Zenit Xenozot in the viewing party, in which the esports match Elite City Cryptors take on Digi Red Blitz Esports, to occur in less than 5 minutes at 1500 hours, 3 o'clock p.m. RDK 3000-Tristar clock time and Elite City time, Eastern Elitopian Daylight Time, 79.1 EMT, 1900 TRX and 791 Kiatrokins, 755 Sine, 74 Do 9 in Dozanal, midnight KBTS and 0 o'clock KBDT, as they take in best of 13 as we learn. Encounter Blitz Striker in the spring update, in which this esports match is to be a charity match in which goes toward a cause towards sponsor of Alito Prom Fest 2023, EY 1023. In which goes toward mental health and arthritis since the next month for May 2023. Epsilon EY 1023 marks Arthritis Awareness Month, and Mental Health Awareness Month as proceedings goes to Autism Society of Elitopia, and Elitopian Mental Health Council Association, also toward units at Elitopian University and Elite City General Public Hospital and Health Alliance for Autism and Mental Health Research, Treatment and Education.
This is the prom is also a charity event for mental health and arthritis awareness, also as it's the first year sponsoring the event. Anyhow, the esports match in subject is to be on Vero Television, Alito Gamer ESP, also Triangle Television, also on the radio at Alito Gamer Radio 100.7. Also the live blog and streaming online, also on social media with hashtag ECRVSDRBE, and on mobiles on Alito Gamer ESP app, with news and talk view on Alito News 24, also on Jinx 24, and for those outside of Elitopia on the match gameplay, on Zeno Gamer TV, ATR ESP, TD Gamer TV, Corejotnet ESP, Canbernet 3, KB7 Gamer TV, Canber Gamer ESP, HX-ESP, just to name some examples. In addition to separate audio or multi-view of this channel being RDK 3000-Tristar television service. Press magic button or audio button on the remote, as coverage from News View is also to be on RDK 3000-Tristar today, coming up in a few, as we have our correspondents to be covering the match, also the prep for the prom. This is we take a live shot at inside DG Square Alitosat as we put on the countdown to top on the sidebar to the left, as the shot is from the esports arena section, toward the faces of esports gamers. First being DG Red Blitz Esports. Among the starter 6 from left to right in view being Derek Matthews, sibling of head leader Ryan M. Cryptor, being Dark, also Canber, Richard Canders being Canber, in which his cousin is part of Canbordy City Thieves, Pikachu, Joseph Canders, to the right of the view being Scout, Andrew Zaniels, team captain, in which he's cousin of Mark Z. Cryptor, Mark Zaniels. Toward camera 2 from left to right being the 3 amigos of the Zen Pak, Ilitatina being Stefan Alito Stan, in center being Rex Trax Zion, Trax Rex, and to the right being Kenka, Scott Alito Starkip, cousin of Ichiro ESK Cryptor.
Toward Elite City Cryptors, from left to right Stefan Zanders being Craig, Ralph Katzenchen being Trance, Shark being Chris Blake, sibling of Alito Gamer ESP's Raymond Blake and our own Jared B. Cryptor. To camera 2, to the left being Chris Trex Alito, brother of Mitchell Trex Alito standing beside, to the right being Dexter Toddball being Alito, sibling of Dewey Toddball of Raptor Tuning and cousin of Daniel Toddball, worker at Neardo Octave Synergy, and in the center, Mickey Daniels being Shaker with our own Dennis D. Cryptor, Slacker aka Max SD Cryptor and Danielle D. Cryptor beside, in which the trios being RDK correspondents to cover the match in live report coming up.
This as the match start is just a minute away, also start of RDK 3000-Tristar today as we walk to the all-new Studio RDZR, in which is improved version of what used to be Studio X8 then R3, as it is beside Studio RDX being the video wall but wider this time. This is it's approaching the new Canberra day, midnight KBTS and 0 o'clock KBDT, on this Steri the 26th Quartz and KB.P18 and Curly the 3rd of 8th Maya of KB.SDY1 Grove 2 Dozy 8 or 176.
79.1 EMT, 1900 TRX, 755 Sine, 791 Kiatrokins on this Viatricon 10011 Force Day Quines Day Sigma Mu Onazit toward 7er Pentis Delta 23rd EY 1023 and 2000 TDE Day 114, 1500 RDK in Elite City on Tuesday, April 25th, 2023, 2000 Webchesterfield, 1400 Rexer, 1300 Sharkville. This is RDK 3000-Tristar. Today's Blitz edition begins now. This is we are powered up always. Always in all networks of RDK 3000-Tristar, television, radio, streaming and more, as it's a 2-hour extended edition. I am Chris K. Crypter. Jakur, Chris Kaistar.
And I am Mark E. Crypter, Mark Elitistar, broadcasting live over at RDK 3000-Tristar RDK Newsline News Center Studio RDZR Video Wall at RDK 3000-Tristar Main HQ in Elite City, Federal District, Ilitopia. Mike Z and Christina A are on assignment for topic later on in the show. Here's the latest at this hour.
Game on. Elite City Cryptors take on Digi Red Blitz Esports in a potential Marathon Esports charity match in Best of 13 in Counter Blitz Striker Spring Update.
This is developments this morning from DG Square Elitosat that Elito Prom 2023, EY 1023 to be charity event both to be toward a cause for arthritis and mental health research and resources.
RDK Election Watch Kanbordi. Fire alarm interrupts the speech of the Kanbor Union Party leader at Kanbordi City Convention Center blamed on opponent. Suspect arrested by Kanbor police.
A topless female photo bombs during live interview of leader of trending political party in Kanbordi EI an election on RDK TV Kanbordi in which sets off RDK TSR auto AI sensor system. She's under arrest for indecency exposure.
Developing story. A mass shooting at Elitopian University was adverted in a bizarre way. Dog approaches and snarls the would-be shooter this morning. Suspect arrested by Elite City Police. Dog and owner credited for such bravery to stop the massacre.
News update. Shark alarm is cleared in Riker. In Craig Province, sharks were escorted away thanks to special buoy that gets deployed this morning, but beaches are closed for the day today as a precautionary measure.
Steve Ricksaw. Why you not at Digi Zenit Xenozot in Xenopolis City, Xenopolia? And who's mastering the livestream for ECR and DRBE in the viewing party?
My brother Andrew Ricksaw, who resides with me. By the way, he does live streams and videos on SignTube on cars and races. I am heading to RDK 3000-Tristar Xenopolia Unit Division, since I heard that Max SD Crypter aka Max S Daniels, nickname being Slacker, has departed Elite City and he is en route to Xenopolis City since past half hour. He to arrive to Xenopolis City imminently as he is boarding the Hyperloop. Grove and Osatek thieves are elite in Xenopolis City in recent hours as they to tour RDK Xeno once Slacker arrive.
Will they be interviewed on Xenopolian television?
Yes, tomorrow in the afternoon, as they to be interviewed on Xeno 24.
I Milos Elitostar must note. Will it even be Silimcast on Alito News 24?
Yes. As for concerning time of interview, DRBE to get interviewed on Xeno News 12 o'clock on Xeno 24 to be Silimcast on Alito News 24's afternoon live and Viros VWGT to begin at 12:24 p.m. Xenopolis City and 1:24 p.m. Elite City tomorrow, so make sure you arm that on your DVR.
I to be in practice at that time.
This is I to work at Digi Square Elitizod as it's my last day time off due to paid maturity leave. My sister has given birth to a baby boy.
Wow. When does he was born and what is his name?
He was born a few weeks ago, on Friday, April 14, 2023, or Delta 12th, EY 1023 at 5 p.m., 87.5 EMT, 2100 TRX, 4 p.m. Xenopolia City Time. His name is Jacob. He and my sister Nicole is in good spirits.
However, prior to the match at 0400 KBTS, 1800 Xenopolis City, they to be interviewed on television on Xeno 24, owned by Xeno Media from Xenopolis City, Xenopolia, in which is 10 hours west of KBTS, hosted by Alex Rome during the midday news. This as we present the interview since we got requested by our affiliate Xeno 24 and Alito News 24 to simulcast the interview. As the interview also to get shown on Alitopian television on Alito News 24 and Vero Television, owned by media firm in Alitopia, Alito Telemedia. For some of you, as Wheel Telemedia, Wheel News 24, Wheeltopolian and Wheeltopolis, as we use the proper term that start with Alito on the air. I am Daniel Candisea from KB News 24 Deck at KBMK in Kanbordi City, and we hand off to affiliate coverage for the interview. Stay with KB News 24 Deck.
Welcome back to Zeno News 12 o'clock on Zeno 24 and Zeno 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I am Alex Ryong over at Zeno 24 News Center at Zeno Media HQ in Xenopolis City, Xenopolia. We want to welcome to the viewers on Alito News 24, Vero's VWGT and KB News 24X. As it's time for the interview for Grove and Osatek Thieves. As they are spending time in Xenopolis City for today as they shut out Optic Alito this past weekend. Bombed Elite City Cryptors yesterday. But gets blanked by DG Red Blitz Esports. As they to take on Xenopolis City Quartz tonight at 6 o'clock PM Xenopolis City. 7 o'clock PM Elite City and 4 o'clock AM KBTS, and as they to depart to Altronic City tomorrow to take on Altronic City Shock. Then to Kanbordi City for the HNM Kanbordi match with them and Kanbordi City Thieves. We will also include viewer call-ins, so submit us your viewer questions, or call in at 800 Zeno 24, submit to the website via form, or via the Zeno 24 app. Alitopian viewers must call the Alito News 24 viewer line, Kanbordi viewers must call the KB News 24 Deck viewer line. No subjects in relation to Kanbordi elections, as we do not want that to be discussed on Zeno 24 during the interview. We will hang up on you if you do. We have a viewer from Canberlazuli from KB 784 in Kanbordi City.
Question to the team: since you are based in Wheeltopolis, will you listen to the elections on 21st Gumbaland 18?
We will not respond to the question due to two subjects. 1. Subject refers to the Kanbordi EIN election, as it is not allowed to be discussed during this interview on Zeno 24. 2. He said the alternate name for Alotopia and which start with Wheel, as that violates Zeno Media rulebook. Since we are simulcasting this on Alito News 24 and Vero's VWGT, also a violation of Alito Telemedia Broadcast Code of Conduct. I am Mark E. Cryptor from RDK 3000-Tristar. We do apologize for cutting out of VWGT without warning. This is the subject. What Canberlazuli just said is also a severe violation of strict RDK 3000-Tristar Code of Conduct, as we never use the subject word with prefix wheel referring to alternate slang of Alotopia. As a reassault, we are preempting the remaining show of VWGT, but the hosts will be back tonight for VWG2 and tonight at 1900 RDK and Elite City. Pause at 2000 hours for RDK TSRT Prime, then from 2100 hours RDK and Elite City for the third hour of the show, as we start RDK 3000-Tristar Today Blitz Edition over 90 minutes early in the special extended edition, as it starts now. This is RDK 3000-Tristar Today Blitz Edition. I am Mark E. Cryptor bringing to you live over at RDK 3000-Tristar RDK News Line News Center over at RDK 3000-Tristar Main HQ in Elite City, Federal District, Alotopia. I will be joined with Mike Z, Christina A and Chris K Cryptor at 1500 hours RDK ELC. The headlines at this hour. As well Vero Television, this is we have to pass you a programming alert. Vero's virtual world and gaming today needed to prematurely end. This because the VWGT hosts has been stormed off the set in anger over what Canberra Lazuli said on alternate name of Elitopia during phone-in to Xenopolian 24 Hours news show. Zeno 24, when calling in Viaduct KB News 24 deck in Canberra D City during interview with Groven Ossitek Thieves as the interview gets Xylem cast on Elito News 24 in which gets Xylem cast via KB News 24 deck. Also VWGT in which the VWGT episode gets aired on RDK 3000-Tristar television service, in which in a statement released in the past minute, Canberra Lazuli has since apologized on the matter. The VWGT hosts will be back tonight for VWG2N but have since requested RDK 3000-Tristar television studio productions for production tonight's episode as I also Chris K Cryptor to be main hosts for tonight's episode with Sean Richardson, Mickey James, and Smith Phelps being co-hosts. We detail the subject further later on in the program as we lead with the top story. Elito Prom 2023. EY 1023 in which the rooms has been decorated in appreciation of this weekend's events, as the transport vehicles provided by Terdia and Flex Motors to be electrified vehicles. 2023 Flex Connex EV, Fuel Cell, E-Power Series Hybrid, Hytron 4 Hybrid, and E-Hytron 4 PHEV, and Mudcup Revolution EV and Hydrogen Fuel Cell Range Extender E-Forces with 2023 Terdia EV-X electric vehicle driven by volunteers, who need to request to bring the passengers to DG Square Elitosat at Prom Central, as it's part of Elitopian Vision 2020s. As the contents used for the prom at DG Square Elitosat are made by facilities in which have carbon zero protocols, also made by recycled and compostable materials, i.e. the decorations are made by recycled items as they go green for the prom. First time for 2023, EY 1023. We go live to DG Square Elitosat as we join with Sean E. Cryptor to begin the coverage. Sean.
Yes, not to mention reducing water consumption, food waste and electricity consumption as the solar panel has been upgraded on the rooftop at DG Square Elitosat for more electricity via solar, in terms of more watts per square meter or square nitros, and all lighting across DG Square Elitosat switched to LED, most being RGB smart lighting, and which gets some mood to the event.
What Sean E. Cryptor said, on the lighting used, he mentions the RGB smart lighting. I do agree with him, it brings some mood to the event, also used at the esports arena section, for a more immersive feel to the esports match we spectate yesterday as I use various types of it at my apartment, as I do note, Costa, also gets used for Omega Costa?
Yes, Mitchell treks Elito as it gets used as decoration and mood for the Paterons at Omega Costa.
You two are correct, as I might kinders note, as I just went back there for lunch, it sure gets some decent ambient that is synced to the music that gets playing as it kicks some amp, as they amp it up to the mood.
Did the electronic chimes on the Trex clock's tower replace the traditional chimes?
Yes, this as it was switched on earlier than expected, as the bells were damaged as there were some vandalism to the clock tower, especially the bell room. Some fellows abused the ropes toward the hammers also to the bell, as someone lighted on fire, thus snapping the ropes, causing an incident. As the bell went crashing down toward the floor, in which smashed the slave clock servers in which the master one were in upper floors, anyhow resulted in intruder alarm. Also fire alarm as the cops and the fire department needed to be dispatched, also an ambulance as there were someone who got seriously hurt also. This as the worker saw it occur as he called 911. The incident occurred yesterday afternoon, as the electronic chimes were switched on after 5:05 p.m. for the .880 and 848 sign chimes to mark Choi 88. Anyhow, the broadcast for the Overwatch League 2023 season opener gets underway now, as Robert has started playing subject on the TV as we and the fellows at the cookout to host the viewing party, Trex style, but they to tune the TV to some hockey before 7 this evening.
Yes, the SF Shock and the TO Defiant to be competing on the first match of the season.
Yes, however no wonder it gets also broadcast on Sign 100 on the esports match then hockey.
Yes, as it to be quite interesting.
This is it, toward the final 12 seconds. Drat. Cryptor City Maple Leafs just scored, the lead is cut to 1. Trex Shock leading 4-3.
Hold on, it may be a close call. This as referees, err, it needs to go into video review to determine if it's a valid goal or not. The puck is on the side of the netting, but did it went in or not? That is the question.
It is determined not a goal. Puck did not go in the net as it missed by an inch or so as it went to the side of the netting outside of the net. No wonder it set off the sensor in which the system determined to result in goal.
Understood, Chris, as the goal for KCML is deducted by 1 as it's back to 4-2 in favor of the Trex Shock. This is it. The final play. I have the urge that the TCS have the best defensive players and goalkeeper as the final dozen seconds to be interesting, plus empty net for the KCML, could be good opportunity for TCS to score an extra goal, but I do note KCML may be good to stop it. Brace yourselves, puck drop.
I am curious of the outcome, I hope the Shock wins. This in which is to be coming for tomorrow's episode of the WGT, as we bring up to date on the Overwatch League.
Whoa,
What did the
oh my god,
I have to cover the Trex City Shock. They win.
I am Chris K. Crypto. For RDK TV viewers, stand by for breaking news on RDK 3000-Tristar.
First time ever since the formation of 2000 Trex 3000-Tristar. They won World 2 to win the best of 7 series score to Midseason RDK 3000-Tristar. I am Mark and Victor over at RDK Newsline Studio RDX at RDK Main HQ in Elite City, Philadelphia. We have breaking sports news and a sports alert to pass to you at 2150 RDK in Elite City. Also Trex City, Trex the Hawk. Cryptation, Robloxian Federation wins, in which Trex City Shop wins the RXHL Rumble Extreme Hockey League 2023, Trex Year 23, EY1000 in 23 Rocks out finals. In Game 7, Trex City Shop defeats Cryptor City Maple Leafs in the final score of 4-2 as they are the championships, as they win the System 7 series 4-3. This has since resulted in alarms in RDK Sirens plus roll call alarm to sound out of Euro and Elite City. Regarding he is sure personnel to report to the RDK 3000-Tristar main HQ of Alito School. So if you are one of our staff watching this, you must report to RDK 3000-Tristar main HQ immediately. Repeat, you must report this. The hosts for RDK 3000-Tristar tonight also Trex News Night Watch has since heard of subject and have since went into News Flash. Also from Sean and Robert. They have since scrapped trip to a TRC to spectate Tronic Shock vs Goat and to arrive to Trex City by tomorrow.
The show just went into a commercial break.
Robert, why not change it to Trex Vision?
Okay.
We almost missed out on Scooby-Doo and the Ghoul School, a 1988 TV film.
Yes, as the credits is just now showing.
Scooby-Doo? I watched the show once I was young.
Same as I. No wonder it gets aired on Trex Vision.
Yes, this is the film made it to Roblo television in prior few years, after initial airing of Scoob being a 2020 film, in 2020 or Trex Year 20, in the summer in Roblo Federation.
Yes, or Elite Year Y1020 or Canberra Year KB.P18, just 30 years after Elitopian release.
Sean and Robert, nice to meet you.
Is your Trex car packed up?
Yes.
Same as my car.
This is for you Chris and Trexer. We must depart soon however, but first, we must note on the subject in the next few days on the TV as for you Robert Bloxing Trex. Tune the TV to Alito News 24 International immediately.
Okay, Robert Zelostar. Good timing. The countdown to top is just nearing its end. Anyhow, Y4.
I must note, Alito Prom Fest 2023, EY 1023, Trex Year 23 in Elite City, Elitopia is this weekend at Digi Square Elitazot, while the one here in Trex City to be held in next 2 weeks being Trex Prom 2023 Trex Year 23.
But I shall note, subjects were already discussed earlier in the show Canberra Alito Express. As I watched live stream of Alito Newsnet on my phone, streaming version of Alito News 24 as it's concerning the subject at 3 p.m. Elite City and Trex City on the 30th other than H&M event being esports match as you must pay attention to the host on the TV.
Welcome back to Canberra Alito Express on Alito News 24 with Silimcast on KB News 24 Deck and for the first time for today's episode on Alito News 24 International. I am Stephen Alito Canborda over at Studio KBEL 784 at ELTM in Elite City, Elitopia. Not only that Canbordeans and fellows at Canbordy Street in Elite City to usher in Happy New Month Canbordy Gumbalon KB.P18 to occur in less than 2 days 23.4 hours. Aside from the celebrations at selected areas even a fireworks show at RDK Con. There will be an esports match to occur at the mentioned time. As Gruven Ositek Thieves to compete against Canbordy City Thieves in which they to compete in best of 5 in Do Spinel of Oxplix 2, being a Canbordean variant of mashup of Dota 2 of League of Legends theme being mashup of Ben 10 and Steven Universe. The action will take place at DigiCon 7 Canborzat, at the Esports Arena section with viewing party in Elite City's Digi Square Elitazot at Esports Arena section, also at New Esports Arena in Trex City, Crypzation, Roblo Federation in which gets opened up last week. The competition match to start at midnight KBTS on 1st of Gumbalon KB.P18, 0 o'clock KBDT, translating to 3 o'clock p.m. Elite City on April 30th 2023 and also same time in Trex City, Cryptor City and Costa Aero for Alito News 24 International Robloxian viewers, 79.1 EMT and 1900 TRX, 791 KTS, .791N, 755 sign, on Delta 28th, EY 1023 and Alpha Trex 17th, Trex Year 23. We go live to Raymond Blake over at Digi Square Elitazot for details also for latest about Tronic City Shock and Gruven Ositek Thieves in Match 2.
DOS Spinel of Oxplix 2. I never heard of the video game variant. I do note we have the Robloxian version of it. Although the host says to occur at 3 PM on the 30th at Digitrex, I called the esports arena in the past hour, it is confirmed to be a viewing party.
This gives me an idea. Since Trexer and Chris is to head for a trip to Elite City, they to spectate the event at Digi Square Elitazot. I also Robert and Raymond to head to Digitrex. We to communicate on our devices.
Yes. However, we must carry our foods as we to head outside. Anyhow, for you, Steven, Robert and Raymond, if you change your mind and if you plan to head to Canbordi City, Steven, you should leave your Evo at home since the car is banned in Canbordi Republic as it's commonly used for street races. As once you bring it, you will lose it forever and get fined millions of Canber coins, thousands of dollars, also spend 3 to 7 days to jail, then be deported to Robloxian Federation only to sanction you further by the Roblo mods, including 3 or 7 day sentence to ban land. This is for you, Robert and Raymond. You should also consider leaving the Limbo and Audi R8 at home. You may need to ride your secondary cars, being Steven's 2023 Audi Q7 e-tron, Robert's 2023 Toyota RAV4 Prime PHEV, and Raymond's 2023 Dodge Hornet. Although if you plan to join with us at a later time for trip to Elite City, please inform us ahead of time.
Anyhow, you should note the 3 Konixes. The one Trexer and I drive have the same engine and electric motors, as they are multi-fuel plug-in hybrids, but Chris Konix is a flex-fuel bifuel variant in which runs on gasoline or ethanol fuel. Most commonly E85, as it's a normal hybrid with electric-only operation at low speeds up to 40 to 60 km per hour depending on throttle input and battery state of charge level, engine, motor or battery temperature, also outside temperature and other factors. You should note the license plate on the said cars. 2 of the cars being license plates for Bloxy Federation on Chris and Trexer's cars. While my car have the Alito license plate as I used to reside in Roblo Federation but visiting here for today as I reside in Elite City. Elitopia, in which Trexer and Chris to head to for a weekend trip due to certain events in the latter part of the week, as the duos will stay at my house during the trip rather than going at the hotel.
When will Trexer return to Trex City? He must arrive before the eSports Virtual Autosport Racing E-Prix event he to compete in the second week of May 2023.
Around Happy New Month Elito Epsilon EY 1023 being May 3, 2023. Just in time for Star Wars Day Fest in Trex City on the 4th.
This is Trexer said. He and I have since packed up for the trip before we head to the cookout. Although he needed to do things before we depart.
Yes. This is I must shut down the Trex system sounders once I go on a trip, as the Trex siren must be disconnected so the siren won't sound for time signals and alarms via Trex system, as it to be used for bogey alerting system for notifications on important hockey events. This is the Trex system. Notification will be relayed to the SR notifier system at your house, in which will sound the uplink to the RDK 3000-Tristar system, in which will sound the notifiers through the RDK and SR systems. With option for bogey alarm to sound via Trex siren, although we will be going now, as we will see ya day before Star Wars Day. If you need to get a hold of me and Chris, message us or call ourselves or Robert's house.
Have a nice time. Send pics while at it.
Don't forget to meet your other friend Michael, who reside in Trex City, now residing in Elite City since past several weeks.
We will message you tonight at 8 PM this evening. Bear in mind that Alftronic City Shock vs Grovan Ositech Thieves esports match still in progress. Tune to Trex 96, then when arriving to Elite City, tune to Alito Gamer Radio 100.7.
Okay, bye-bye. Robert and Sean, you lead the pack. Chris, you head to the back and follow the Trex car.
Okay, Trexer.
Aye. Trexer, we must head to your house as you need to unclutch the motors from the Trex system to the Trex siren and power those motors up. Also turn on away mode, also do final prep.
Yes, as I also to get my planner and such.
Weather at the destination on the 29th calls for heavy rain and gusty winds, but cool, as we must also to get some rain gear and put it in my and Trexer's cars. There's an odd risk of thunderstorm, but severe weather is not expected, as it may yield a thunderstorm advisory by the weather office in Elitopia and lightning danger notice alarms via the horns managed by the authorities in Elite City, as we also have lightning alarm horns in Trex City also.
Now, the subjects are already dealt with. This is Bogey has been notified as well. Zenzi Cryptor has also been notified.
Yes. This is I received a reply from him. He tells us to head to the Hyperloop station in Trek City, but we are unsure on the location of it.
Then follow my car. I know where it is located as we went from Xenopolis City to here as we arrived in the past hour or so.
It to be the entrance in 800 meters.
We do have our passports and required documents, as with international driver permits, but do we need tickets to ride the Hyperloop?
Yes, you need to buy tickets. It costs $20 or 8 Helios per person, but we already got it for the ride for 4 of us, as you do not need to get one.
Yes, as I will give it to you once we arrive to the station, as it's to the right as we must signal, then turn right as we will hand you the updated travel guide as well for April to May 2023, Delta to Epsilon Y1023.
Anyhow, bear in mind I am in chat with Stefan AT Cryptor from RDK 3000-Tristar Altronic Unit Division. This as you must have followed Groven Ositek Thieves, or 144/64 Thieves, very closely. They compete in a sports match at DGtron in Altronic City as I to explain the update in moments. However, when I walk past Salon Arte Isolito, I do note an RDK 3000-Tristar fellow. Maybe one of my colleagues needed a new hairstyle. I do note the CZ truck parked as with the conics in the front.
I note the license plates on the said cars, the truck to be Corey Zanders and the conics to be Mark Zaniels.
How do you know, Trexer?
I met with them and noted their cars and the license plates, in the past visit for MJD 60K and New Trex year. And that is me, Mark Zaniels, Raptor, Mark Z Cryptor. Bear in mind my friend and colleague Corey Zanders, Corey Z Cryptor, Farah also needed a new look. Yes, Mark, this is I also have same new hairdo as yours but in a different color. This is for you Trexer. I Farah already note on the esports match scores for Groven Ositek Thieves vs Altronic City Shock. First match, a CS wins 4-2 in Octal of Dota 2, as for the second one, in which recently concluded in the past minute, a CS wins 3-2 in Omnizachi 2. Oh my god. The Shock movement. The Thieves movement must have been halted. First the Bay Shock from the Overwatch League, then Trex City Shock in RXHL Hockey, third in esports in TD Alito. For the Altronic City Shock.
Make that fourth, as Silver City Shock shuts out opponent team from Eastern Gorhatapia and Gorhatapian Aussie Rules football earlier in the day also.
Just curious, Zine, what's the final score and where did it gets played?
8/8, 56-6/6, 42, as it got played at Silvat Dome in Silver City, Gorhatapia.
The scoring for AU Rules football is bizarre.
However, I must note that a goal is 6 points and a behind is 1 point. This as the scores get displayed as goals, behinds in addition to the overall score.
The clock chimes, I wonder where it gets originated, as I do note it's 10 in the morning.
It is originated from the clock next to the bilingual English elitish exit sign at the main entrance, in which also serves as an exit. I wonder who implemented the chimes.
It is me, Lion Jared Raystar, as I done it on my phone. You should note the clock is a smart clock in which I control the chimes and such on my phone.
Yes, Jared, this as I King Richard Jinx Star must note that I also control the subjects as the same chimes are placed on other smart clocks of DG Square Elitisat with exception of digital only clocks, in which uses a melody rather than the chimes playing at top of every hour on the hour.
Yes, this is I Mark Zaniels, Mark Z Cryptor also have the one in my office at RDK main HQ and at my room at my house, but it's a desk clock with an alarm clock feature. I am Mark Z Cryptor from RDK 3000-Tristar. For those wondering why we skip ahead like a couple weeks into latter half of May 2023, Epsilon EY 1023, we have to feature subject at the soonest possible. This is its time for the RDK Blitz. This as we begin on the final few days of April 2023. The Alito Prom Fest kicks off as prom-goers danced the night away, during the interview on Canberra Alito Express with Groven Osadek Thieves. Stephen Alito Canborda discussed the themed rooms as they showed key aspects of the room as one prom-goer asked Groven Osadek Thieves serious question, on topical subjects involving H&M Canberra sports match on video game and mode. This is the ELHA referee who's off-duty asks unrelated question concerning Canbordian hockey. It to be 3-match series, first match in afternoon, second in evening and third at midnight, in KBTS, VWGT and RDKTSRT reported on subject right away. Then fellow from GOT also said that Canbordi City Thieves to compete against Elite City Cryptors in surprise match 24 hours to the main H&M Canberra match. KCT shuts out ECR 4-3, but in separate match, ECR takes on KSAR City Eternal as ECR wins. This is Webchesterian Correspondence Association held its annual correspondence dinner. First match, KCT wins 3-0. Second match, GOT wins 3-1. Third match occurs at midnight KBTS on First Gumbalin KB.P18 in which translates to Midnight Silver City on May 1st, 2023 as my friend Scott Smith and his bro sure have a blast on the beaches as Korhada P and Mayfest kicks off, thankfully. Shark alarms did not went off and no sharks were reported. However, just 2 hours prior, Kupnianershan ushered in year 147 in the legacy system. Canbordi City Thieves shut out Groven Osadek Thieves 3-2. This is Kin2K celebrated the H&M Canberra also spectate the match. This is Trexer, Chris, and the Xylostars spectate the match in Elite City. At the end of the day, Chris and Trexer returned to Robloxia. Early on May 1st, things go wild on the substitute players for GOT. In the morning, one substitute player has been detained by Canberra police for riding in a banned car most common in street racing and gets fined, also jailed 3 days. In the evening, one substitute player was in passenger of JDM import car, driver, and his friends were involved in street race but the drivers were caught and vehicles seized, and drivers were arrested, along with one passenger, one substitute player from GOT. On the second, 2 substitute players, one of it was already serving jail time, gets sentenced to death, and was later executed as investigation gets held on Groven Osadek Thieves, later on the second, GOT in which was originally to depart Canbordi City. Gets told by authorities to remain due to active investigation and then was ordered to court. They get sentenced to death but that was challenged by the multinational authority councils including TD Pol, and Alito Pol stating the roster be instead deported to Elitopia. Things came into a brief dispute but came a swift settlement in which GOT pays a 10 million Canberra coin fee, translating to 140,000 Elios as they head back to Elitopia only to find by the ELG Game Jam Council that GOT gets permabanned from competition matches due to subjects on May 1st to 2nd but gets challenged by the Tronic Diamond Esports Authority Council stating that the substitute players who were involved gets permabanned while the remaining roster gets allowed to compete but faces automatic disqualification from playoffs. This on the 3rd, then in the evening, new substitute players get announced. This is it's my birthday on that day anyhow as we ushered in Epsilon EY 1023, anyhow on May 4th, it's Star Wars Day as Star Wars music gets played in most RDK-Libments, in which Cinco de Mayo music gets played on the 5th. Elite City Cryptors vs Silver City Spark was originally to compete on that day, as with DRBE vs GOT in the evening, gets postponed at the last minute, until May 8th, 2023, without warning, this due to coronation of Charles III and Camilla. TD Alito Esports Omega Quartz 2023, Celeb vs Gamers and Pro AMS get held, also some football, aka soccer as we call it, being the soccer teams based in Canbordi City, Mudcup City, and in Oislania. First series on the 7th in Canbordi City, second series on the 9th in Oislanian, third series on 12th in Mudcup City. On the 8th, at 094 KTS, there has been a reported 1094, this being police code for street racing, in which occurred at 0215 UTC in 21 seconds. It was reported in most areas in the TDU but not in Elite City and Elitopia, and not in Canbordi and Webchester. Police departments were alerted of subjects and has since been dispatched. Since after 100 KTS/02:24 UTC, the event has ended with arrests and vehicles seized. Racing leagues condemn the act and suspend races and postpone tournaments until latter half of May 2023. Soccer matches on May 12th needed to be moved due to incident involving to street racing in Hex City. Hextapolia ended in a crash at Mudcup Dome in Mudcup City, inertia resulting in damage and emergency repairs/cleanup, mainly the roof. Some sports car went airborne. Went over the Kip Hex River, crashed at the roof of the stadium. Elite City Cryptors vs Silver City Spark competed in the daytime gets rescheduled for evening at DG Square Elitosat is for DRBE vs 144/64 Thieves fixture. Same time but moved to Event Center Section GR at RDK 3000-Tristar HQ in which is underground below eSports Arena of DG Square Elitosat at floor 24L. This is I am in it. ECR shuts out SCS 3-2, GOT shuts out DRBE 4-2, but DRBE shuts out Ultimate City Fuel 4-zip. Soccer matches in Oislanian on 9th gets postponed to 10th but moved to Pecco Final Aclon from Oislanian due to thunderstorms, an Oislan team to report for practice, as Pearl City Lapis Gemstars fills in for replacement to compete with Mudcup City Mudkas and Canbordi City Canbers. Soccer matches in Pearl City gets held, Pearl City Lapis Gemstars, Canbordi City Canbers and Mudcup City Mudkas to compete in third football, soccer, match but Mudcup Dome is under renovation and won't be finished until June 2023. Roof needed repairs due to damage from car during street race incident on morning on the 8th after 9:24 AM Mudcup City, in addition to thunderstorm lightning damage to the roof a few days ago in which resulted in a fire but was put out within minutes thanks to quick response by the MCFD. Third series of matches did not get held in Canbordi City due to venue in use for campaign speech for Canbordi election. Third match gets held in Elite City, Elitopia with Elite City Firestorm pitching in. One thing is, Canbordi City Canbers must return back to Canbordi City no later than May 15, 2023 for two subjects, 10th anniversary of KK2005 and Canbordi EIN election KSK, MKC and PCLG arrived to Elite City to compete in soccer matches at Zen Dome in Friendly. This is the TD Gamer Celebrity vs Gamers match gets held being Xenopolian Rock Band vs ACS and XCQ, Elito counterpart being the cast of the film Ultimate Gamer vs ECR, DRBE, GOT, OTENEFZ. Celebrities win the TD counterpart, gamers win the Elito counterpart. In the TD Pro-Am, amateurs win, in the Elito counterpart, the gamers win, being ECR and DRBE. In the TD Elito Pro-Am, it's an E-Prix. They compete in a futuristic track map, with the virtual cars chosen to be mostly Connexes and Ferris. Mickey Daniels of Elite City Cryptors wins the E-Prix, as Altronic City Shock's Daniel Keepa Ionier was runner-up. DRBE's Scott Elito Startup a close third. Amateur Scott Elitastar was a close fourth. Xenopolian live streamer Steve Rixel rounded out the top 5 but within closest margin behind Scott Elitastar. Even I and Corey Z Cryptor were among participants in which we finished 6th and 7th. Mitchell Trex Elito placed 8th, Mark Kynes Trax 9th Ultimate City Fuel player rounded out the top 10. This is the TD Elito Celebrities vs Gamers match were conducted on the 13th being TD Celebrities being Altronic and Dancers vs Elito Gamers being DRBE and ECR, Celebrities win 4-2, match 2 being Elito Celebrities being host and notable personnel of game shows vs TD Gamers. ACS and XCQ, Gamers win 4-zip. Match 3 at 1500 hours Elite City, Gamers, and Celebrities of both TD and Elito sides, they compete in best of 13 in video game of Counter Blitz Striker, Spring Update, but they take turns competing, in shifts, Altronic City Shock, Xenopolis City Quartz. Elite City Cryptors and DG Red Blitz Esports are the gamers, Celebrities gets announced at 1400 hours for the TD, 1436 for the Elito, this as we advance to the mentioned time, May 14th, 2023, at, gosh, 1400 hours RDK TSR and Elite City already, my pocket mate is beeping, must check info. The celebrities for the TD side gets announced, 2 of the subjects, host/co-hosts of Kaysarian Talk Show and Altronican music boy band ADR. This is the Alito Prom Fest 2023, EY 1023 still gets underway, to wrap up after Canbordi elections on the 22nd.
Every hour, on the hour, this is the
Thank you SE Stars Plays. I am Mark Z Cryptor, this is the RDK 24-hour news beat. Here's the latest in the news. That is all for now. I am Mark Z Cryptor signing off, as we hand off to guest host SE Stars Plays.
Every hour, on the hour, this is the
This is we have a couple moments toward the announcement. This is we bring in the marquee. Hope it's not my older brother, the RDK fellow. Phew! It's Mark Kinistrax. He have some words.
Game on. I want to take note that we are getting close to playoff season, as we are already in the Webchesterian Esports Spring Playoffs, as me and SE Stars Plays are hosting a meet at the Gamer Lounge Alpha to be held on May 21st, 2023 and Epsilon 19th, EY 1023 after the Canbordi elections. At 6:48 PM Elite City, 95.0 EMT and 2280 TRX in appreciation of first match in the TD Alito Omega Quartz playoffs on the ELG Game Jam side at 8, quad zeros toward SB 20th.
Yes, this in addition, we will outline the schedule of the playoffs, in tomorrow's edition of VWGT. This is we hand off to the other marquee. I am,
Producer Daniel,
no.
Are we back on the
That
air?
is Mark Zaniels,
Yes.
Mark Z Cryptor from RDK
Yeah,
3000-Tristar.
SE Stars Plays, apologies to interrupt, in fact, we have to take over for the time being. I am Mark Z Cryptor once again. This is we have gotten the signal to take over as we are less than 2 minutes toward the announcement, as the VWGT hosts are already at DG Square Alitosat as we needed to take over the coverage right away as a precautionary move in case VWGT folks get selected for the Alito Gamers side. As we hand off to Mark E. Cryptor and Chris K. Cryptor at Studio RDX. I am Mark E. Cryptor and this is Chris K. Cryptor from RDK 3000-Tristar RDK Newsline Studio RDX at RDK 3000-Tristar Main HQ in Elite City, Federal District, Ilitopia. We will be joined by Mike Z. Cryptor and Christina A. Cryptor in several moments over at Studio RDZR beside.
This is we must note that we are close to a minute toward the announcement of the Alito Celebrities side, as VWGT and VWG2N personnel is among the finalists. This as we have since learned, the hosts and personnel has since went to Digi Square Elitazot. This as 3 other finalists being as those hosts and notable personnel of Alito Cops and Alito Rescue, fellows from Alito Diamonds, and fellows from Canbor Hub Elite City being fictional characters in Alito mode. They along with Alftronican boy band, AT-R, to take on Xenopolis City Quartz, Alftronic City Shock, Elite City Cryptors and Digi Red Blitz Esports to compete in Best of 13 in Counter Blitz Striker Spring Update.
This is match start is just close to 24 minutes away at 1500 hours RDK and Elite City, 79.1 EMT, 1900 TRX and Midnight KBTS, Kalaki 0 Dozinal 0, and 791 KTS.
Also 1400 Xenopolis City as it's crossing 1436 RDK ELC just now as we to await announcement imminently.
This is in an event VWGT gets selected. Today's episode needs to end and VWGT gets to be preempted as we have since given request to ELTM and Vero TV to air RDK 3000-Tristar today in Xylem cast on Vero TV and native airing on RDK TV.
This in which it comes as a reality, as announcement came in that VWGT hosts and notable fellows from the show has been selected, as we have to start RDK TSRT Blitz, as we are also joined on other networks of RDK 3000-Tristar television service, as the VWGT hosts will be back for tomorrow's episode, as RDK 3000-Tristar Today Blitz Edition in the special extended edition starts now. This is RDK 3000-Tristar today. I am Chris K. Cryptor, Jakur, Chris Kaistar.
And I am Marky Cryptor, Markilatistar, broadcasting live and direct from RDK 3000-Tristar RDK Newsline News Center over at RDK 3000-Tristar Main HQ in Elite City, Federal District, Ilitopia.
We are powered up always on all RDK networks, television, radio, streaming and more. The latest at this hour.
For some reason, Mark, I was chatting with Rikikan, Rex X Cryptor from RDK 3000-Tristar Canbordi from Canbordi City. He told me that the Canberra unions of KB 784 to host a private watch party at the S-Libment. This is he was just off the phone with DGkin 7 Canberzat. There'll be a viewing party hosted by Canbordi City Thieves to occur imminently, as match start is at midnight KBTS, 3 bells in the ELC in RDK time, 3 o'clock PM and 1500 hours, 79.1 EMT, 1900 TRX. You are correct, Corey. This is I was chatting with Kin2K. He said that he's at DGK7KBZ already. Thank God, the venue is not being used for subjects in relation for campaign rallies for the Canbordian election for the time being and for tomorrow. It is being used for the viewing party hosted by Gon City Thieves for the Ilitopian Tronic Diamond Gamers vs Celebrities. By the way, if you are curious on the date of Canbordi election, to be on May 21st, 2023, and Epsilon 19th, EY 1023, voting opens late on 20th. Poll closes early morning 21st our time, initial results before Choi 50.
But we must begin with a severe weather alert for areas to the north and east of Elite City. The Meteorological Service of Elitopia has issued rainfall warnings of various degrees, levels and color codes effective until 1630 RDK in Elite City. An amber rainfall warning level 1 is issued for Meritus City, red rainfall warning level 3 for the Kaser Mountains north side, level 1 amber for the south side, level 5 black emergency warning for Cassie Dunes. Related products issued for Blitzdinozinuli and areas to the north by the Blitzdinozenian Weather Service and the Tronic Diamond Weather Force.
In Meritus City, and in Kaysar Mountains south side, up to 40 mm per hour, 24 kino nitros per choi, 1.1 kio matros per kilotrocant rainfall rate is expected in the area with wind gusts up to 60 km per hour, 36 kino nitros per choi, 170 cio matros per trocant. In the Kaysar Mountains north side, up to 70 mm per hour, 43 kino nitros per choi, 2.0 kio matros per kilotrocant rainfall rate is expected, and in the KCI Dunes in which the 2023 EY 1023 Alito Baja Blitz to be held on June 19, 2023, where the level 5 emergency warning gets issued. 350 to 360 mm per hour, 210 kino nitros per choi, and 10.0 kio matros per kilotrocan rainfall rate is expected, with amounts of 1 to 2 meter per hour, 0.6 to 1.2 nitros per choi, 30 to 60 kio matros per kilotrocan rainfall rate is possible. Flash flooding is expected in the KCI dunes. Gusty winds is also expected. Some of the effects may be felt in Elite City Metro but in a lesser degree, as a blue rainfall advisory is out for Elite City with rainfall rates of 30 mm per hour, 18 kino nitros per choi, 0.85 kio matros per kilotrocan rainfall rate and wind gusts up to 50 km per hour, 30 kino nitros per choi. 140 CIO matros per trocant OS expected, as the BWS also issued rainfall advisory for Blitz Dinos Nula for same rainfall amount, and squall alerts for areas to the north.
This as the activity has since formed on the Doppler radar, with the intense rain to occur imminently in the Cassie Dunes. Personnel in the Cassie Dunes off-roading must get out of the Cassie Dunes immediately. Repeat, personnel in the Cassie Dunes off-roading must get out of the Cassie Dunes immediately, to avoid getting stranded in the intense rain and possible flash floods. Follow marked exits that lead to the ramps. Use lowest gear due to slight steep grade in the incline. Please stay tuned to RDK 3000-Tristar today for the latest on the weather situation.
Has the students implement ELU-owned weather stations at the KCI dunes, Richard? Yes, since this morning at 10 a.m., several has been deployed within a kilometer or two apart, Ichigo. What is the readout on one of them? Current stats, being wind orientation 325 degrees, 82.5 zones, 350 gradients, close to 5.5 radians, 825 kio2eo, or kyoturns, northwest, velocity of 50 km per hour, 27 knots, 13.9 meters per second, 30 kinonitros per choi, 141 cio matrigos per trocan right or cio meters per secant, 31 miles per hour. Gusts to 75 kph, 45 kch, 28.3 mps, 40.5 knots, 212 cio matrigos per trocan right or cio meters per secant, 46 miles per hour, unseasonably cool, temperature of 10.0 degrees Celsius, 100 tempos, charts, or estes, 15.7 kbmi, 283.1 Kelvin, 50.0 degrees Fahrenheit, relative humidity at 100%. Barometer fallen to 975.82 hectopascals from 1000.25 from last report since noon. Sky cover, 100% fully overcast. Conditions, heavy rain type, intense/torrential, rate of 353 mm per hour, 211 kino nitros per choi, 10.00 kio matros per kilotrocant or kilometers per kilosecant, 13.9 inches per hour. Over a foot per hour at the KCI dunes. Yes, but possible of 3 to 6 feet per hour. You must be talking about feet per hour rather than inches per hour, right? Yes, that is 1 to 2 meters per hour. You should note 10 years ago in 2013, EY 1013, the area gets flooded within minutes concerning the KCI dunes with flood waters of 5 to 8 meters deep. Will the weather stations owned by ELU be affected? Like, would it be underwater thus resulting it to malfunction? No, it's on a pole as subject is high up, so it won't be affected by the floods. Anyhow, just check the station at ELU campus grounds. It's just beginning to rain, but 25 to 30 mm per hour rainfall rate, so it's moderate rain intensity, similar temperatures, wind velocity, and gusts not as strong, as based on timing. Should be raining moderately outside of DG Square Latosat, however we do have our rain gear. Yes, Richard, but should let up to light rain by 4 o'clock, ending before 4:30. Oh my god, he is right. We better move the event tomorrow at noon to Bravo O. Alpha O will be severely flooded. We must check out the aftermath tomorrow morning at 8. Is it concerning the level 5 black rainfall emergency warning for KCI dunes? Yes. Although Elite City is under a blue rainfall advisory. This is I grab my wireless keyboard and mouse, and switch it on, and my wireless keypad. This is I start up the computer at my office, as my computer at my room at my house is already powered on via system clock and wake timers, as I am logged into the one at my residence, as with my Pocket Mate, as with my laptop tablet combo, same goes for Corey Z Cryptor, Corey Zanders. Farah. This is I to insert the physical key, although I also log in via password or PIN as secondary. There. This is I know, it just crossed 1445. 15 minutes to subject at 1500 hours. Connect my pocket mate to my laptop tablet combo, and connect that to the computer. Also connect my phone wirelessly to my pocket mate, and to put on my headset. This is I also launch the remote desktop app, and to connect my home computer, as I enter my credentials for my home computer. There. Connection is established. Corey must have done his as well. This is I to open some apps, and 2 virtual machines, KBKS016 and Tronic Diamond OS5 Utopia. If I were you, I would keep my hands off your things, as you should learn to keep hands off other people belongings, i.e. my laptop tablet combo, in which I forgot to lock it once I go fill my water bottle and grab a snack. As I do note, I must always carry it with me, as there are critical files on it in which you shouldn't access. Okay?
Okay, Wraith sir, as I do apologize as I did not knew it's yours.
Mark Z, I noted you got your new alarm clock this morning. What happened to the other one? Gave it away to Catherine Zaniels, as Rover has gone bananas on her old one, as it got damaged. Corey. Anyhow, Raptor, I to show you this. I got this just this morning at Clocks R Us, for 18 LEOs. Anyhow, the alarm on this is shut off as its media is playing, set to Bluetooth, playing the song from my phone, being countdown music. I do note the EMT, TRX, sign time, current date on the civil and Illitopian calendar, and clock time in digital and analog, but what is that on the bottom? That is the time in Canbordi City, KBTS, also Canver Spinel Duodeci time, also Splix Octal time, or in Tronic Diamond terms, TD-O time, Splix date, EOD, and the date in the Canbordi normal, and Canver Spinel Duodeci and solar counterparts. I knew it. Nearing midnight KBTS, 1500 hours ELC. Just one semana, hex week toward the Canbordi elections. Anyhow, my clock have slave dials for TDCX and SOT, also the alarm time in conventional, Splix, TD and Choi counterpart. No wonder you set it to 3, you may disturb the esports gamers once the match begins at time you set on your alarm clock. Do not worry, they wear noise-canceling gaming headsets. Anyhow, I do shut off the sounders, being the twin bells around 1 minute post-alarm. However, it's a quartz battery-operated analog clock, dual face. The one in the rear shows the time in Tronic Diamond and Canver counterparts. Controls on the side. The match is about to start. Map 1, Wraith, Omega Elito. In 3, 2, 1. Is that coming from your clock, Farah? The Warner Brothers Family Entertainment intro fanfare? Yes. Does it play on the hour? Yes, but it plays only once. Raptor, I Trex Rex do note, the alarm is quite loud but I can't hear it, but it annoys one Elite City Quartz esports player who is spectating as they to compete in Map 2 as it's DRB Eastern in Map 1. As for the celebrities, it's the fellows at BWGT, so please hush the alarm. Okay, Rex tracks Zion.
K fella, where are you?
Michael Sinatron.
Wait a minute, I may seem to know you. My cousin in Roblo Federation told me of pics with you when you and Dimitri also savage back in 2022. EY 1022 in Crypto City then Costa Arrow. However, also earlier this year, I saw you at the G Square Elitosit with Trexer spectating a sports match. Now you're residing in Elita City, as you become an Elitopian immigrant from Roblo Federation?
Yes, anyhow I do note you driving your Evo 9 yesterday, then you switched to the Nissan GT-R 32, then you switched in the evening to the crossover.
Yes, anyhow I am Julian Rossakuran aka Joshi, Jujor the Sauce. This, as you may have not noted, the 3 vehicles I drove once I go out to do errands yesterday.
Where is the vehicle in subject, as I have interest in the Evo?
Follow me to my garage at the rear of the Rossakirds. Take note of cat named Oliver, also my other companion Josh Yoshi. Beware of automatic lunch sprinklers.
Wow, I do note the one you drove once I was riding my BMW Motorrad motorcycle. Is there one for sale within Elite City?
There is one in which fellow you may know, Scott Elito Stark, in the city's east side in the Japandrum district, in which he is selling the one, as I note the sign earlier in the day at his residence.
Okay. This as I go meet him now, this as I wonder on how much he sells it for. Talk to Yar later.
Konnichiwa. Hello Michael. I heard from Julian Rasokiard via messaging, you have interest on the Evo I am selling?
How did you know, Scott Elito Starkip?
I chatted with him on Rascord with his handle the sauce #6933 in prior moments before you arrived.
I wonder on the specs, I noted you made some bizarre customizations in the inside, also some notables on the outside.
Yes, it have a roll cage, some aftermarket lights, stereo, axial LED gauges, aftermarket steering wheel, shift knob. It came with a manual, however I transmission swapped to a DCT, some decent wheels, 6-speed, all-wheel drive, 2.0-liter 16-valve twin-turbo inline 4 and such. This is a 2007 Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 9 MR, GSR trim JDM variant.
What is the odometer readout?
400,000 Kina Nitros, 160,000 kilometers.
How much you selling it for?
16,000 Elios.
Okay, good thing I do have a check for 16,000 Elios Dimitri gave to me, as I to send it to you.
Thank you. Hold on while I prep the car for the next owner, as I to toss the keys to you, you then go do your business at the Elitopian Department of Transportation and Motor Vehicle Office in Elite City just to the west.
Okay, how long will it take?
Not too long.
So Optic Web Chesterfield and Toffalo Dynasty competes in finals at 4 o'clock p.m. Web Chesterfield, translating to 11 o'clock a.m. in the morning in Elite City, 1500 UTC or 3 o'clock p.m. GMT, 1500 TR by 62.5 EMT, 625 KTS, 615 sine, or 61 dozy 3 in duodecimal, at top of OCHOU Synkio, 5, first to 4, best of 5, GLA dozy deck, or 10 made by Hexapolian video game firm, a Tron-like combat video game. This as I am getting used to the video game, as I am quite new to it, as it sure is awesome. However, the project is nearing complete, testing to commence next week, although Canbordy heads to the polls tomorrow at polls open from 8 o'clock in the morning to 5 o'clock in the late afternoon KBTS, in which also same time in Korjotopia during the Korjotopian Surfing Spring Championships occurring at noon, translating to 11 o'clock tonight to 8 o'clock tomorrow morning Elite City time for the voting period and 3 o'clock at night for the final day of the surfing competition action, with the finals to occur after dawn in Elite City just 60 minutes prior to polls close. Unless if it gets postponed due to shark alarm as subject 3 days ago gets postponed to the prior 2 days day, being the 18th due to shark alarm, report of sharks and shark attack in which ended up tragic in Silver City in a matter of minutes.
ЕС, hardware TKNT, Тадая ИСК, К, 2005, 10 TH, они выросали аспортиесать в сублет Гацхелт на фабдиги скоро или тазаты на дитиланта Делта 6, Асвит Халарм 6, плюс ватк партиесать в Хэрусулца Астамара Фасы Маркс финал Дая Акт Хэпрамас и плюс Алясу Хайтас Пуэндидая Тадая.
This is I brought home some food, as we are going to have some Russian cuisine at the market in Elite City's south side for dinner. Anyhow, I to put it at the Dino Run tomorrow at 3 PM, Elite City once I head to Nitro Octave Synergy mastered by Mickey Traction. Even though the ACS and DRBE advanced to round 2, I guess it to be quite interesting to see how the playoffs unfold, this as I learn, to be joined by the Cambodian one, and the one I must need to catch up, in the other dimension, the CDL, while catching up on OWL as well. Anyhow, I to race with Savage, Dewey, maybe Toki and others this weekend.
10 deci units. 30 Canbor DEIN minutes. Flordino choice. Dino choice. Kino choice. Deci units. 2 Dino choice. $175 Dino choice. 150 Kino choice. 2 minutes. $125 Kino choice. 90 seconds. 1 Dino Choi or 1 Kia Sekant. 75 seconds. 75 Kino choice. 1 minute left. 60, 59, 58, 57, 56, 55, 54, 53, 52, 51, 50 in dozen, 49, 48, 37, 36, 35, 34, 33, 32, 31, 34, 33, 38, 37, 36, 35, 34, 33, 32, 31, 38, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7,